Motronics.
Okay, let's take a look at the interior of the 2024 GMC Hummer EV SUV. Here's the cabin, and then the door. So, since it's raining, I'll kind of have to do this in a bit of a different way than I typically do. Starting with the cabin. So first you'll see that there are 3 windshield wipers. That's interesting and unique, just because this windshield, well, it is quite wide and also short. And so if you put in a taller wiper, you're basically going to have the swept surface area, but you're not going to be able to fit it. It's going to end up protruding past the top of the windshield. So they added this third one, this middle one, as the third one. Beyond that, so here we have the steering wheel. I am a big fan of this wheel, just because it feels good. So it's nice and grippy. The rim is thick, and that's always nice, especially in a kind of a rugged vehicle like this. This should be thick. This is the Super Cruise indicator right here, and then this is the Super Cruise sensor right there. Beyond that, I also like the fact that these, the 9 and the 3 arms, they are very thick as well. You can actually drive this vehicle with your hand on one of these spokes here. And then here we have the HEV, the Hummer EV logo. Of course, Hummer EV right here across the airbag cover. From there, the aesthetic overall, as I was saying, the outside, obviously the exterior design, it's very rugged, it's very bold. Same thing goes for the interior. If you take a look at the way the center stack display is configured. This is a very large screen. I am a huge fan of it. Just go home here. This is the darker theme, so the vehicle's currently, it thinks that it's nighttime. And the graphics, like I was saying, it's very easy to read, very easy to use. It's very responsive to the touch, and essentially everything beyond changing the drive modes is done via this screen. The drive modes are done via this selector right here. So here's the screen. These are the HVAC controls right here. So you can basically control the temperature like so, up or down via this toggle. You do have this nice animation here. The seat controls, heating as well as ventilation. Now the funny thing is that this is not touch, so if you want to control the actual setting here, what you're going to do is you're going to switch to one of these buttons and do it via here. This is not a touch screen down here. So again, HVAC. From there, below that, there is a switch bank that controls the heated steering wheel, traction control. This is also how you get into Watts to Freedom mode. The hazard lights. This is the park assist and the automatic park assist as well. Below that are the center AC vents. So they not only do they look good, but they also have kind of, when you start to adjust them, they feel very solid. They don't feel flimsy, and that was a big issue with really a significant amount of GM vehicles in the past, as well as Hummers of the past as well. And if you notice just a couple of details here, the trim, for instance, this is kind of bronze trim. Same thing on the digital gauge cluster here. Is a repeating theme throughout the interior of the cabin. And same thing here with kind of this pattern that repeats on top of the buttons there. That's nice. Below the center AC vents, you do have this cubby here. Open it up, it opens like so. You do have the inductive wireless phone charger right there. You have a USB-A port, USB-C port, and it is a nice spot to also just store things beyond the actual phone. Over here is the gear selector. Really, in this case, not necessarily the gear selector because there's no transmission, but essentially this is how you put the vehicle into drive, into park, into reverse, or neutral. Depress this button and then shift it into gear. So you have to put the foot on the brake, depress the side button, pull it back, and that will put the SUV into drive. If you pull it back one more time, it's going to go into L, and then forward, neutral, press the button and all the way forward, that's reverse. Here is the camera, and this is, again, very clear graphics, high resolution graphics here in the center screen. And then to park, you simply press that button and it's parked. The texture, again, this is a repeating element, so not only is it present here as well as on the volume knob, as well as on these switches here, as well as these switches there, but it also carries over to the shifter over here as well, as it does to this panel here. This is the drive mode selector, so if you rotate this dial, you're going to select the different drive modes. There's my mode, and again, you have these really nice animations here. Very high resolution screen. This is off-road mode, terrain. I love these animations. And this is tow and haul mode. It is, as you can see, towing some rockets, it seems like, in that animation. And there's, of course, normal. You can select the crab walk feature via this dial as well, and you can raise and lower the Hummer EV SUV via these buttons as well. So you basically press it here and it's going to give you the ride height. As I press it up, it's going to go height right normal, ride height increased, and ride height extract. And so to get to extract, you're going to have to be in terrain mode to do that, but that is how you do it over here. To the right of that, a set of cup holders, front to back, right there. If you leave all these open, it kind of looks very industrial, but if you close them, it does look nice and clean. So that's very nice. The pattern continues here, so from here it carries over to the top of the center console, which you can open by pressing this button right here. Opening it gives you this shelf, and then if you take the shelf out, you get the same kind of deep, large storage space that you usually get on GM full-size trucks and SUVs. You do have a 12-volt outlet right here, and it is backlit, so you do have a light that will illuminate this compartment whenever it's dark. And then let's move on to the rest of the center console here. So if you look closely here, below the center console, there's an open space. So this is designed to essentially be like a traditional vehicle, nice big center console. But then if you look at it from the side, you get this. And this is very convenient if you want to put, you know, some items there for storage, maybe a purse, what have you. This edition 1, it does have these also gold accents here. And take a look at these AC vents. Now they're big. This is a Hummer after all, so it's all about being exaggerated and, you know, having the most of everything. But this AC vent, it's really big. But in reality, when you look into it, this top section over here, it's blocked off. So really it's only this big, the actual AC vent itself. That's an interesting design element there. Okay, there is a grab handle here at the A-pillar, as there is for the front passenger as well, and the door handle has a grab handle as well. Both these are useful, but this one is most useful getting into the vehicle. From there are some controls over here. So this is the electronic park brake, the release button for the frunk, the E-frunk. Some controls here. This has the ability to lower all windows all at once. The brightness controls here for the cabin backlighting. The vehicle stop-start button is located right here. I will also note that if you really kind of back up a bit, the roof and these visors, they're very far away from the driver and the front passenger. It's way out there, so I have to really reach for this. In a normal car, in a normal vehicle, you know, this windshield that comes up like this, it's raked. Given that in the Hummers, in the Hummer EVs, it's very upright, all of this gets pushed out and pushed forward. So it is very far all the way out in the front, but you do get this nice big sun visor and a tiny little vanity mirror. This does extend and extend like so. So it folds out and extends. That's good. Here is the rear camera mirror. Overhead console here with lights. These are LEDs, OnStar controls. This is the lighting controls and passenger airbag indicator. But do take a look at the design. I think that the team did a great job as far as the design overall and the aesthetic. Everything is very bold, very blocky. I think it fits the personality of the Hummer brand and of the vehicle itself very well. The materials are all good. This is a very soft material with a lot of cushioning, a lot of padding, so it's not only is this material soft, but the material underneath it, it is quite soft as well. And the same is true for the materials here on the door. So soft material here, another soft one here. So if you do like to drive with your elbow on top of the door like so, then you will be happy to know that you can actually do that and not wear out your elbow. The elbow rest here, also soft, well done, well executed. It's not as soft as the center console. There's quite a bit more padding under this, but it does get the job done. It's not rock hard. It's certainly better than having, like a straight up vinyl piece. Here's that handle that I mentioned. It's probably not all that useful for the driver, but certainly useful for the front passenger. Decorative element there, again in that bronze goldish color. There's the Hummer EV logo. I do like the speaker grills. Take a look at those. So these have a kind of a lunar theme to them. Nice touch. And the storage areas here, so you could store 1, 2, 3 bottles or whatever water containers. It does not extend back there into the back of the panel, so it's literally 1, 2, and 3. That's all you get over here. Okay, the digital instrument cluster, there it is. Just like the center stack screen, the instrument cluster is very well done. Nice clear graphics, high resolution. I've not had problems with it in the couple of days that I've spent driving this the Super SUV. So basically in sun there's no glare, not that I've experienced anyway, and obviously it's overcast here, raining currently, and you still see the graphics here very well. So a very good screen overall, and I'd say it's one of the best screens that is currently present in a GM vehicle. And that's really it on as far as the cockpit's concerned. All right, let's take a look at the seats. Here they are. They are very comfortable. I don't think they're different from a construction, or the actual frame of the seat itself is much different from that of a typical GM seat, but the material is certainly different, and it is a very comfortable seat. I have spent a few hours a day in this seat already. I do like the color, the texture. It does have some perforations for the ventilation. It is heated and ventilated. Hummer EV badge right there in the seat, again in that golden bronze color right there. I'm a fan of it. Here are the adjustments for the seat. Standard GM fare, get the job done. And I will also note that the window is frameless. There it is. Let's now take a look at the rear seat. Here it is. There is plenty of room back here. The door is almost the same layout as the front. You do have that nice handle here, so this is what you would hang on to in the absence of an overhead handle. Because this vehicle has removable roof panels, there are 4 of them, there is no way to put a grab handle at the top, so you're essentially left hanging on to these handles here. I do appreciate these B-pillar mounted handles as well. It makes it easier, much easier to get into this vehicle. It's a tall riding vehicle. You basically step up here, grab onto here, and get up there. In the rear door panel itself, there's the bottle holder, another storage area here, and that speaker grill with that nice lunar topographical pattern there. As for the rear seat itself, let's see how the scenery looks like from here. There it is. There's the cockpit. Looks good. Very tough, very industrial looking. There is a set of AC controls here. This is the fan speed, temperature, rear seat heating as well. You can change where it's going. So here, the AC vents, or maybe the feet, USB-C, USB-A ports, and a nice storage shelf, again with that lunar kind of detailing as well. Overall, there is plenty of space here. Again, I'm 5'9". This is where I would drive the vehicle, and as you can see, I can just stretch out and still be okay. This seat is also tiltable, so you can recline it. This is the normal position right here, and then if I pull onto this switch, I can recline it just like so. Overhead, you do get these removable panels, and they are tinted. There is no shade that goes over them. From a driving standpoint, the roof itself, it's not all that bad. From a NVH standpoint, not much wind comes in, and there's not much sound coming in either, meaning these are not noisy panels. Whenever you're doing off-roading or driving, they're not moving around, making noises. So the NVH, the noise, vibration, harshness levels with these roof panels, it's really good. Okay, let's take a look at the trunk. To release it, you press down on this button right here, and you got to back up a bit because it's going to swing, and it is a big swinging door. Look at the size of this door. It is not small by any stretch, and it's also not light. It has not only the door to move, but also the spare wheel and tire combo, along with the mounting point, along with the rear camera, so it's got quite a bit to move. Let's take a look at the actual trunk itself. So the load floor, it is kind of high. So, you know, in a normal vehicle that's not an EV, typically probably the load floor would be here. From here, quite a bit of space in the cargo area. And again, the cargo floor itself has this lunar pattern. The theme carries over from elsewhere in the vehicle, as I've shown earlier. There is also room for the included charger. There it is right there. And these seats do fold down. It is almost flat. It's not completely flat, but there's a slight incline there at the end, but almost flat, as you can see. You can fold these from here, or you can do it manually at the top of the rear seat. The actual opening of the cargo area is nice and big, almost a square shape there, so you can fit quite a lot in here. It's a nicely sized area. You could also note that this floor with the lunar pattern here, it is kind of this rubbery texture, so my suitcase, it's not going to be sliding around in here at all. Beyond that, you do have a household style 110 volt outlet right there. Several attachment points for nets and other cargo accessories. I think this spot here is for a accessory cargo cover. So overall, quite a bit of space. To close that down, you hit the button and it swings closed.
Motrolix.